Okay, yesterday we confirmed about these two topics, about listening, the main idea, yes, about the lecture. Have we covered these two questions? Have we listened about this? What topic the
Yes.
lecturer previously speak about? Difficulties in Venice based on flooding,
The
yes? Letter
difficulties
B.
Venice faces related to floating.
Thank you, Mariana. What about number two? Number two. Number two. Thank you, Mariana.
Letter C.
Okay. The effects of tourism in Venice. Now, I'm going to stop. Okay. And what it could be the effect of tourism in Venice. So I would like to listen all of you. Camila, for example, what do you think are the effects on tourists in a city? You can say positive or negative. Which of these? But what do you think is the effect? What is the effect of tourists in a city?
I think that I in the positives, I think that is good because more people know about your city or place, or more people meet your place on your city
Okay, learn.
and learned about your. And negative, I think that there is not always there is no all tourists nor a good person nor not are a good person because um some sometimes the tourists don't have culture and contaminate the city or um I don't know how to say, but I don't know if you understand me.
Definitely, Camina, I understand all the comments because you try to, and I understand obviously. You would say that for good is the idea that they start learning more about your culture if they visit your city. Yes? They learn about the food, they
Yes.
learn about your language, some colloquial words. Yes? They learn about all of this. Yes, you said this. The negative part, as you said, is about that people that do not respect rules is the negative part. Yes, they damage the city, they destroy, yes, some areas that probably are protected. Yes, and about this, Kiara Guerrero. Thank you, Camila. Kiara Guerrero, can you continue, please?
I think another positive impact is that the country's economic increase.
Okay, the economy. I think it's profitable is the word, profitable. Yes, economy increase. Thank you so much. Fabiana, can you say it loud? What it could be one of the positive things? Okay, you
Yeah, there
mentioned
is a
about.
contact
Mhm.
between cultures and facilitates the learning of new languages.
Okay, yes, based on the idea of being exposed directly to the language, yes, probably you can acquire, you can learn more, yes, in order to communicate with these people. Okay, I'm going to listen other people. Marcelo, what is your idea about positive or negative effects of tourism?
Uh, um, well, I'll talk about when the World Cup in Russia. I remember the Chinese people, like when they went to the stadiums, they got recognized for people did and like from the other country, and like that's a good thing about tourism, I guess.
Mhm. Okay, the good part is that you have jobs opportunities surrounded this city that is visited by many tourists. Thank you. So, and it provides jobs, yes, more jobs in this place. Yes, the idea of availability of jobs. Thank you, Marcelo. Mauricio,
Miss?
Yes, Mauricio. What do you find the positive thing of tourists in a city or negative?
That the country have to be more conocido.
Well known. A well-known place, become a well-known place.
Yeah. And the bad thing that the pollution, the tourist, the pollution, the place that have to visit.
Thank you so much. As Camila mentioned before, yes, some kind of pollution that probably the human we provide, yes, with the idea of using this kind of plastics or things like this. Okay, guys, I would like that you take notes, yes, because we're going to listen more things about, in particular, in Venice, because not only as Mauricio, Camila, Daniela, Fabiana, no? Or Lucero, Marcelo, things like this, you can obtain based on tourism. Well, there are other things and other aspects, and I would like that you compare and contrast what is our most touristic place here in Peru.
Machu Picchu.
Excellent, Mauricio. So most of you agree with this, yes? Our hottest spot place is Machu Picchu. So try to listen, yes, and let's see if the Venetian people struggles are almost the same that probably here in Machu Picchu we are facing. Okay? So let's start by sharing the audio. I'm going to share the audio and we are going just to listen this. Are you listening? Not yet?
No.
Not yet. Okay,
No.
so I'm going just to put the, okay. Okay, here we go. It's very interesting.
Page 7, Exercise C, a lecture about Venice, Italy.
Good afternoon. I hope everyone had a relaxing weekend. Today, we're going to continue our discussion about cities and the challenges they face, specifically the city of Venice in Italy. So, to begin, let's review a few of the points we've discussed so far. Remember that for centuries, the city has been struggling with the problem of flooding. As you know, the regular floodwaters, called the Acqua Alta, are a major concern for the city. You may also recall that over $5 billion in government funds have been dedicated to the innovative MOSE project, which builds water barriers to stop flooding from the ocean. Now, flooding is an important issue, but many Venetians say that the city has more serious problems than the Acqua Alta or the MOSE project. And most of these problems have to do with tourism. Of course, tourism has both a positive and a negative side. Tourism is extremely profitable. But the problem in Venice is that the number of tourists is becoming almost more than the city can bear. For example, the number of Venetian residents is estimated to be fewer than 60,000. By comparison, what do you think the number of visitors to Venice was in 2014? Around 25 million. Recently, during a single holiday weekend, 80,000 tourists visited the city. Public parking lots filled up and were closed. And tourists strolled through the streets eating and drinking and leaving a lot of trash behind. The problem is that Venice's city services aren't equipped to handle so many people. An increasing amount of money is being spent on garbage collection in order to clean up all of the trash left behind by tourists. In addition, public transportation on the famous boats and gondolas is so crowded that Venetian residents can barely find room to get on. Along with the issues of trash and crowded transportation, city residents also have to deal with inflation in various parts of the economy. For example, food prices continue to rise around the city. Some cafes have been known to charge as much as $13 for a single soda. In the Rialto Market, a central shopping district of Venice, some of the grocery stores have been replaced by souvenir shops, which means that Venetians have fewer places to buy their groceries. In popular tourist areas, rent has almost tripled, and many small local businesses, for example, toy stores and hardware stores, can't afford to pay it and have had to shut down. Let me add that there's a serious housing problem in Venice. At one time, there were laws in place to regulate the changing of residential buildings into hotels, but a 1999 law changed all that. This law authorized a higher number of these changes, and the housing problem grew worse as a result. Since then, the number of hotels and guest houses has increased by 600%, thereby reducing the number of houses that are available for local residents to live in. These days, the only people who are able to own a home in Venice are the very rich, who can afford the high home prices, or people who already own houses passed down to them by family. Young Venetians simply can't afford to buy any property in the city. This scarcity of affordable housing is having a big impact, and more residents are being forced out of the city. 30 years ago, the population of Venice was around 120,000. Now it's less than 60,000. So why does Venice continue to encourage tourism when it is the root of so many problems? Mainly, it's because of money. It's estimated that tourism in Venice generates more than $2 billion a year in revenue, and many think the actual amount is much higher. In addition, there's a lot of financial pressure on Venice. The cleaning of canals, the renovation of old walls and buildings, and the Mose project are all very expensive. Tourism brings in funds to help the city pay for these projects. Another point I want to make is that many people in Venice have jobs related to tourism. As the city attracts more tourists, hotels, restaurants, and museums need to hire additional staff. In fact, the city of Venice has a lower unemployment rate than the rest of Italy, and it's likely a result of the tourism industry. Some people think that Venice is to blame for its own problems, that these problems are the result of greed for tourism dollars. There's a lot of talk about limiting tourists, taxing tourists, and even asking tourists to avoid visiting during the busy seasons of Easter and Carnival. On the other hand, maximizing the number of tourists in Venice, due to its economic benefits, is also a priority. However, as long as Venice prioritizes both the interests of the residents and those of the tourists at the same time, the problem won't be solved anytime soon. So, although it is an ancient city, Venice is still a city in the modern world, and like many urban areas, faces its own unique challenges.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to put a whiteboard in order to register some of your participation. Yes, and if someone would like to provide a comment, yes, on this, I would like that you raise hands and participant by explaining. Yes, some of your friends probably are going to write something on the board. Okay, so I'm going just to make the ideas or against or pros. I'm going to put pros and cons, okay? Pros. So you are going to complete here. Pros and cons. I'm going to put here at the other side, okay? So I would like that some of you register some of your ideas on the whiteboard or others just orally. Thank you for helping me to design the whiteboard. Thank you so much. Pros and cons. Okay, about this audio. Please, if you want, you can write or you can say it orally. Okay, someone can complement this idea. Around 2 billion only for visits. 2 billion what? 2 billion people, 2 billion what?
$2 billion US dollars.
Who said this?
Me, Lucero.
Lucero, thank you so much. Imagine this. It's one of the pros, yes? We have a large number of money, like it says, 2 billion USA dollars, yes? But also, here we have a financial pressure here, yes? About cleaning the canals and restore the buildings. Because remember, Venice is an old city. That it's becoming, yes, a modern city. Camila say yes. They say at the end of the listening, yes, it's a no city, but at the end it becomes a mother one. Okay, guys, let's see one of the ideas you put in the cons. Oh, who removed the line, the black line? Okay, here we got some volunteers. I think probably some. Okay, here we have some of the ideas. Thank you so much for the students who are writing this, because it's really important, yes? Okay, it's okay. The color brown, it's okay. It's only one, okay? Okay, here we go. We see that we have a lot of things in the cons. I'm sorry. Where is the whiteboard? Okay, here we go. Okay, someone can complement these ideas. It says, one of your friends put, as tourism has increased, places for local Venice people are being occupied by foreign people. Okay, foreign people. Okay, very good. Someone can complement, what is this idea? What kind of places are occupied by foreigners? What kind of places? Someone say Miss. Maria Clara?
Diana, can I say a pro?
Yes, if you want, you can say or you can write. It's up to you. Jose Ugas. Jose Ugas here says that receive too much people, this contaminated city. There are too many people that the city can support. So say, Maria Clara, go ahead.
Venice is the most known city in Italy.
Yeah, yes. Okay, Maria Clara Moreno wrote here. Thank you, Maria Clara. Many people work for the tourism, sell souvenirs, and work in museums or hotels. Remember one of the points Marcelo said before, that the tourist provides something that is the idea of jobs. And also Macarena got from this. So I would like to include that this is called that lower, no, reduce the unemployment rate. Yes? Okay, here we go. Thank you for the student for adding some red cords. Okay, guys, talking about inflation. This student said food prices increase and young Venetians can't buy homes. Let's going to focus about this. And it's one of the things you can contextualize in Machu Picchu. How many of you observe this criteria? Inflation, when you visit Machu Picchu. How many times you were in Machu Picchu and you ask for a bottle of water? How much it cost? Have you ever visited Machu Picchu?
Nope.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Someone say yes, someone say no. Okay. The students who say yes, how much it costs just a bottle of water there in Machu Picchu?
Like 7 or 10 soles.
Yes, my dear. That was probably a long time ago. Now, I recently got a friend. It's 20 soles, Maria Clara. They double the cost. Yes. So that is exactly what it passed people in Venice. They got shocks, as Maria Clara today, about inflation. Yes? The food prices increase, that sometimes Venice can imagine this. How much is the cost of a simple bottle of water? It's just the maximum, it's 2 soles. Here we have another comment that says Lucia. It says the number of native residents decreased rapidly in Venice. Yes? So we have a lot of areas. So what other thing you can contextualize here? For example, the public transportation is crowded. is crowded. Yes. Something about that they can buy homes. Well, exactly the word that they say is they can afford. That is different, like they can buy. No? They can afford. I'm going to put. That is the word. They can afford the idea of buying home because the cost really increased, no? And some of the houses were substituted into what? Into, most of the houses changes into hotels, remember? Just to own a house, people cannot afford it, yes? Cannot afford it. Okay, someone talk about, related about what happened, what is throwing in the city. Nobody mentioned about the people there consume food and eat, but leave their litters, their trash. Where they leave their trash?
The water.
Okay, or surrounding the city. They just throw the garbage on the streets. Yes? They do not pay more care. Macarena point out some of the pro here in the chat. It says tourism generates income, of course, yes, for the development of the city in projects. Yes, we mentioned about this, as Macarena mentioned. What kind of projects Venice has? The project of cleaning the canals and restore some buildings. Okay. All right, guys, we're going just to up until here, yes, because with the exercises we provide today is the idea of obtaining information. And tomorrow at 11 a.m., we're going to continue with the detailed questions about the comprehension of listening. Okay, guys, tomorrow we are going to continue with the audio and you are going just to evaluate some comprehension and understanding. Thank you for your attention. Remember, tomorrow the class is at 11 a.m. Do you have further questions?
Okay, Miss.
Thank you, Camila, for confirming this. No? Okay.